Founded in 1889, St. Leo is the fourth largest Catholic university in the United States and currently serves more than 14,000 students. They study at its university campus in Greater Tampa Bay, through its online programs, and at more than 40 teaching locations in 7 states, boasting small class sizes, academic excellence, and state-of-the-art technology. St. Leo is a thriving community you definitely want to be a part of.
And we are back here for the second game of this doubleheader as your St. Leo men get set to take on the University of Tampa Spartans. I am Eric Anderson here for your broadcast tonight. And the St. Leo Lions come in with a record of 6-4, 1-2 in the Sunshine State Conference. They host the Tampa Spartans, as I said, who come in with a record of 2-7, 0-3 in the Sunshine State Conference. Now, Tampa is led by senior guard Pat Bacon, who has dealt with some injuries the last couple years, had some red shirts, but is having a great year so far, averaging 21 points per game. Not bad for the former Sunshine State Conference Freshman of the Year, which seems so long ago, but he's been doing great for the Spartans so far early in the campaign. Now, for the Lions, they are obviously led by senior guard Kyron McClure, who also comes in averaging 21 points per game. And he got banged up a little in the last time out against the number 2 ranked team in the country, a 92-77 loss to Nova Southeastern. But in that game, he was on fire. He was really cooking the Sharks for 13 points across the first 6 minutes of that game before coming down on someone's ankle wrong. Kind of hurt his ankle. He was out for the rest of that game. Ultimately, a Lions loss. But he looks to be fine out there for tonight. He's gone through warm-ups. He's shooting. He's looking good. So should be good to go for the night. So we're going to do starting lineups now for both teams. For Tampa, you have Derrick Felder, Pat Bacon, Martin Lekovich, Jacob Harris, and Brent Duckin. And for your Lions, we have Rusty Moore, Kyron McClure, Malik Fuller, Yalen Reed, and Ty Foreman. So we're going to step away. We're going to do some starting lineups here in a little bit in the arena, and we'll be right back for the opening tip after this.
In 1889, St. Leo is the fourth largest Catholic university in the United States and currently serves more than 14,000 students. They study at its university campus in Greater Tampa Bay, through its online programs, and at more than 40 teaching locations in 7 states, boasting small class sizes, academic excellence, and state-of-the-art technology. St. Leo is a thriving community you definitely want to be a part of.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Anyone can be the victim. Everyone can be the solution. It's on us to stand up and not stand by.
Because when you're a victim of sexual assault, no one should stand alone.
It's on us.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete. On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus, and why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most, preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree. Creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
Hi, my name is Marie Kors. I'm from Germany and I played for St. Leo University in the women's golf team. My major is economics and my minor is in accounting. When I came to the States, everything just felt bigger. It was an adjustment, but I loved every part of it. St. Leo has kind of developed as my family. I got there when I was 17 and I was kind of like a small little girl experiencing a new world. But over the 4 years, I found a lot of friends there. It was just like the perfect setup for being successful in my sport and in school. I think golf is definitely more mental. When I came to college, I was like a great ball striker. I always loved to hit the golf ball. I always loved to practice.
And we are back as we're getting set for the opening tip between the visitors from Tampa and your St. Leo Lions. Bit of a different look for the Lions out there in the starting five. Rusty Moore, Kyron McClure, Malik Fuller, Yalen Reed, and Ty Foreman. For Tampa, as I mentioned, Martin Lekovic, Derrick Felder, Jacob Harris, Brent Duncan, and Pat Bacon. Pat Bacon, the former Sunshine State Conference Freshman of the Year, having a great senior campaign, averaging 21 a game. So it should be a great guard matchup tonight. And an offensive foul called there going against Ty Foreman. Spartans off to a bit of a rough start on the campaign, 2-7, 0-3 in the Sunshine State Conference. Not typical of a Spartan team. Usually University of Tampa always near the top, but have been just riddled with injuries this year, as a good shot there by Felder get the ball rolling for the Spartans. They had a great incoming freshman who injured his knee in the summer. And then Makai Biffle, he went down with a hand injury as Moore tries to answer from downtown to no avail, out of bounds to the Spartans. And so Tampa's been just trying to recover. But the good thing is they do have a great leader in Pat Bacon. So you see Pat getting going there. Couldn't quite get it to go. Nice job attacking the basket there by the senior from Indianapolis, and goes out of bounds to the Lions. Now, for those of you who watched in the last game for St. Leo against number 2 ranked Nova Southeastern, Kyron McClure had it cooking early in that game. So he tries to get it going here. Can't get that one to go. Rebound to Malik Fuller. But Kyron had 13 points in the first 6 minutes before injuring his ankle. Had to leave. Never came back. But he's out there tonight as Yalen Reed gets the 3 to go. And the Lions out in front by 1. And a near turnover ends up in the hands of Brent Duncan, who puts it up and in. Brent Duncan, a solid role player for many years on that Spartan team. So you see Yalen Reed get fouled, he'll go to the line for 2. But Brent Duncan always was a good role player for many years on those Spartan teams behind players like Duke Shelton, and now getting a chance to be the lead guy down low for Tampa. So he comes into this one averaging 8 points per game. And Yalen Pure on the second. So a lot of new faces on this Spartan team. And then you got the veterans in Duncan and Bacon, so perhaps they'll grow and get a little better as the season goes along, as Pat and Brent kind of got to get used to playing with the new faces. And good move there by Yalen, and an offensive foul. Good job there stepping up and taking the charge by Martin Lakovich. Head coach Lance Randall shaking things up a little bit with the starting lineup, seeing what Malik Fuller and Ty Foreman and Rusty Moore could do, as Pat Bacon gets the 3 to go. Could only contain him for so long. As I mentioned, should be a great guard matchup all night between him and Kyron. And Kyron fires from way downtown, in and out there, and Ty Foreman able to steal an extra possession, and now Yalen fires from downtown, and he gets it to go. So Yalen Reed with 2 threes early on, and he's got all 8 St. Leo points. It's Pat Bacon with a nifty crossover there, but shuffled his feet. Let's see, the officials are discussing something here. Perhaps a cut. Looks like, yep, a cut on the left elbow there of Brett Duncan. So they're going to wrap it really quickly and get him back on the floor. As well, this little break, you see Rusty Moore going over talking to head coach Lance Randall, getting some instructions here. As Kyron will kind of play the 2, it looks like, a little bit tonight, with Rusty running the point. Of course, that'll change once Wade Coomer gets back in there, or he checks in, and Bartascus, of course, but just a little different look here to go against the Spartans, and there's a offensive foul called there going against Ty Foreman. That's 2 on Foreman now, so we'll see who they go to here, and it looks like it's going to be Tyler Carter. As Ty Foreman got the start against his hometown Spartans. Jacob Harris with the injury to Makai Biffle getting some run here for the Spartans, just a freshman from Ackworth, Georgia. And that brings us to a media timeout. Spartans up, or Lions up by 1 early.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
And we are back. Lions lead by 1 over the Spartans of Tampa, 8-7. Derrick Felder will step to the line for 2 free throws here, shooting just 55% on the year. And he is pure on the first. And no good on the second as Malik Fuller gets the rebound. Kyron unable to get open off that screen. Now Carter drives. There's a kick out to Kyron. Back to Yalen, who fires. Yalen can't get that one to go, and a foul called. There's a little extra shove there from Duncan, and the ref trying to calm him down a little bit. There's second foul on Brent Duncan. So Brent Duncan will have to sit with the 2 fouls. And a carrying violation called against Rusty Moore. Interesting there on the drive. Not one you see often called, especially against Rusty, but called nonetheless. Kind of a slow start here for these teams as they try to fill each other out. So there's a drive by Pat Bacon, goes to the left hand, no good. And Moore with a drop-off, kick out to Malik Fuller for 3, no good. And Rusty Moore, the smallest guy on the floor, gets the board. Yalen Reed fires from downtown, and he puts it up and in. Yalen Reed with all 11 St. Leo points here. As he is legit carrying the load for the Lions. There's a 3 on the way, no good there. Fouls his own shot, gets the rebound, and a jump ball called. Good job by Kyron tying him up there, but he knows he should have probably boxed that out. Long shot, long rebound, and Wade Coomer now checking in for his first minutes along with his brother, Jared Coomer. Gentara Spartaskis also in for the Lions. And knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Spartans. And there's a turnover there. Wade Coomer left wide open for three. No good. Probably should have followed his shot there as the Spartans come back the other way. And there's a drive and a finger roll layup. Well done. And a delay of game called against the Lions. But great layup there by Derrick Felder. Felder comes into this one averaging 10 points per game. But as I mentioned, with the injuries, having to see more time and a travel called there against Jared Coomer. So a bit of a sloppy start here for the Lions early. The Spartans giving them everything they can handle across these first 7 minutes. And that's a turnover there to St. Leo. I would say Kyron McClure's looking for his first points, but everyone's looking for their first points outside of Yalen Reed. As Pat Bacon skies in for the rebound. There's a three on the way, no good. Rebound to Jared Coomer. So we'll see if Kyron can get going. He kicks to Coomer for three, no good. Long rebound, ends up in the hands of Felder, who will drive, go to the floater, put it up and in. So great start for Felder, who now has 7. And that leads to a St. Leo timeout. We'll keep it here as it's just a 30-second timeout, but Spartans really getting it going here early on as St. Leo just 1 for their last 7 in the midst of a 2-minute scoring drought. Shooting just 3 of 12 from the floor are the Lions. And those 3 baskets coming by way of Yalen Reed, all 3 of which are 3-point attempts. And then he had the 2 free throws. So we'll see how long Coach Randall keeps them on the bench. I can't remember the last time I saw a contest like this where one player has legit all the scoring. And if a game like this were to happen, you'd think it would be Kyron McClure with the 11, but Yalen Reed came out firing away, and Kyron has set up the opportunity for some nice shots. A couple good opportunities to Wade Coomer off screens. Shots just have not dropped for St. Leo. I'm sure that will change as the game goes, as Kyron working with it here. Kicks to Wade Coomer. Out to his brother Jared. Goes to the little hook shot, puts it up and in. And finally the first Lion basket for someone not named Yalen Reed. And the Lions regain the lead. Felder calling for a screen here. Loses the handle. And Bartaskis gets it over to Carter, and back come the Lions. Bartaskis thought about the 3, now drops it to Carter. Shot off the glass, no good. And a foul called going against Tyler Carter. That's his first and the team 5th. So that'll bring us to a immediate timeout. Bit of a sloppy game. Lions lead by just 1.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
And we are back. Lions lead by 1. 13-12 the score. Bit of a sloppy game for the Lions, shooting just 29% from the floor. Tampa shooting 56% from the floor. 5 of 9, but nonetheless, Lions lead by 1. There's a good move there, and goes to the right hand. That's Lakovic. Great move. So back and forth we go, and we got a foul on the floor. That one goes against Lakovic. As Eric Lom into the game, seeing his first minutes. Out there alongside Rusty Moore, Jared Coomer, Wade Coomer, and Gentara Spartaskis. Wade Coomer left wide open, can't get it to go. Jared Coomer skies in for the rebound. Cleans it up, puts it up and in. So back and forth we go. Going to work against Lom. Good defense there by Lom, not fouling, but being a disruptor. And foul called there is Pat Bacon, the smallest guy on the court, sneaks in there, gets a rebound, and draws contact and will go to the line for 2. Pat Bacon, an 83% free throw shooter on the season. Pierre on the first. And Pierre on a second. Spartans back out in front. Back and forth we go. Jalen Reed getting set to check back in at the next dead ball. Wade Coomer with a little fall away, no good. Tough start for Wade Coomer, 0 for 4. Coomer hits the deck, no foul called. 3 on the way, no good, and rebound to Lom. A little leave-off pass as Jared Coomer thought about it. Now Bartaskis with a little drive kick back to Jared Coomer. Lom gets free down low. Can't put it up and in, though. And the woes continue for the Lions as there's a big 3 there for Lakovic. And a 4-point lead for the Spartans. There's a drive by Coomer. And an offensive foul called. So a couple subs coming in now. Jalen Reed and Malik Fuller placing Wade Coomer and Eric Lom. There's a drive and a kick out. 3 on the way. No good. Rebound comes right back to Felder, who puts it up and in. My goodness. Great start for Derrick Felder, who has 9. Not bad at all for the junior. And there's a 3 for Bartaskis. And boy, was that needed for the Lions. Little tip drill there, ends up in the hands of a Spartan. And a drive there, falling away, no good. Rebound to Bartaskis. Now Moore will bring it up. Jared Coomer 3, no good. Rebound to Pat Bacon. He comes back quickly and tracks just it out to Felder, who is fouled by Bartaskis. Helps up Felder. Good sportsmanship there by Bartaskis. Felder, a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor. Can be the first player in double figures. Well, second player in double figures behind Yalen Reed. First Spartan in double figures if he's pure on the first, which he is. Derrick Felder, just a 55% free throw shooter on the year. And law of averages, 1 of 2. Moore picked up his dribble, so somebody had to come back and help. Bartaskis thought about it. Good close out there by Bacon. Bartaskis now with a little hezzy. Good shot there by Gentaris Bartaskis working against Pat Bacon. There's a drive and a pull-up. No good. Rebound to Reed, and back comes Moore. Goes behind the back. And it's a kick ball out of bounds. Another turnover for the Lions, their 7th. That brings us to a media timeout. Spartans up by 2.
In 1889, St. Leo is the 4th largest Catholic university in the United States and currently serves more than 14,000 students. They study at its university campus in Greater Tampa Bay, through its online programs, and at more than 40 teaching locations in 7 states, boasting small class sizes, academic excellence, and state-of-the-art technology. St. Leo is a thriving community you definitely want to be a part of.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
And we are back. Lions trailing by 2. Off to a rough shooting start, just 7 of 21. Good for 33%. But down just 2. Tampa getting a great game, though, out of Felder. 10 points, 4 for 4 for the junior. And you know it's only a matter of time before Pat Bacon gets going, and no good on that one for Bacon. As Rusty Moore just too easy there. Lays it up and in, and a timeout taken, I believe, by the Spartans. Or no. Thought it might have been a quick timeout. I thought that would have been a little quick coming out, but refs blew the whistle there, and perhaps a little warning for the Spartan bench. There's a hanging shot by Felder. My gosh. Derrick Felder with 12 points. He's perfect 5 for 5 from the floor. That's a travel there by Moore. And Kyron set to check in here. He'll replace Bartascus. Head coach Lance Randall there, voicing his displeasure with Rusty, but telling him move it off the side. It's Pat Bacon to the fall away, kicks out to an open Felder, who is human as he has his first miss of the contest. As Kyron McClure works off a screen. Good close out there, though. As Kyron still looking for his first points. Comes in averaging 21, and a steal there by Pat Bacon, who will take it all the way, count it, and the foul. So Pat Bacon will go to the line looking to complete the and one there. At that point, you're just pretty much good letting them go. No need to foul if you're Kyron. As Pat Bacon completes the and one, he now has 8. And the Spartan lead is 5. Jalen Reed gets it down on the block, and that's just too easy there. Jalen Reed's going to exploit that mismatch every single time. He now has 13. As there's a good drive by Bacon, but called for the offensive foul as Jared Coomer steps up and takes that charge. Now Tyler Carter and Wade Coomer check back in for Malik Fuller and Jared Coomer. So Kyron still continuing to play the 2 while Rusty runs the point. I feel like Kyron might be he's a little more natural scorer, I think, from the 1. I think he likes being able to set up the offense, and he can feed off of that. He can drive and attack, kick out, but when you just have him coming off screens, it kind of limits what he can do. As there's a foul called there. We'll send Rusty Moore to the line. So an and one there after the ball dropped. So Rusty can tie this up at the line. Complete the and one. He does just that. There's a pull up there, no good. Rebound to Carter. And back comes Moore. It's Wade Coomer with a nice drop off to Tyler Carter. Can't get it to go. Yalen skies in for the board and then loses his footing and is called for traveling. So that will turn it back over to the Spartans in a tie game here. Lions just look a bit sluggish out there. They don't seem to have much rhythm on offense. I wonder if at some point Coach Lance Randall will try to switch Kyron to that point. See if they maybe bring Rusty Moore at the 2. He's got that little extra speed anyway. Could really work off those screens. I understand Kyron's a better shooter, but it's a bit of a sloppy start, but brings us to a media timeout, all tied up at 27.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
And we are back, all tied up at 27. Lions shoot at 40% from the floor, 31% from downtown, just 4 of 13. As the 2-7 Spartans are giving them everything they can handle. It's Tampa trying to find their first win in conference play. They're the only team winless still in the conference. There's a three there, no good, missed everything as rebound came to Kyron. And Kyron trying to get over off that little cross screen, no good. Now they finally get it to him. Just 5 seconds. Kicks out to Coomer. 3 to go now. Has to fall away and shoot, and puts it up and in. Wade Coomer beats the buzzer. What a way for his first basket of the game. The Lions now in the midst of a 7-0 run. And there's a pull-up jumper up and in. Good job there by Felder. He's now got 14. Jalen Reed has it here. He knows that's a mismatch, and he's going to do that every time. Jalen Reed now with 15 points in the first half. If I'm the Lions, I am going to feature Jalen every time down the floor. 3 there, no good. Rusty brings it back quickly. Trying to find Jalen, now they get it to him. There's a double team, good. Extra pass by Kyron to a Rusty 3. No good, but Yalen gets the board. Right place, right time. Now Rusty goes to the drive, kicks out. Kyron open for 3. And Kyron McClure on the board with his first 3 of the game. It was only a matter of time. Lions lead by 5, under a minute remaining in this first half. Good D there by Rusty Moore on Pat Bacon. Kicks out to Felder for 3, no good. And there's about an 8-second difference between shot and game clock here for the Lions. So Rusty will certainly hold for the last shot here. So now they get in the hands of their superstar Kyron. That was short-lived. So Rusty with the drive, goes glass, no good. And now UT with a chance for the last second, but Pat Bacon loses the ball. And now Felder comes up with it. He goes to the layup, no good. And that brings us to the end of the first half. So Lions will take a 5-point lead into the half, up 34-29.
In 1889, St. Leo is the fourth largest Catholic university in the United States and currently serves more than 14,000 students. They study at its university campus in Greater Tampa Bay, through its online programs, and at more than 40 teaching locations in 7 states, boasting small class sizes, academic excellence, and state-of-the-art technology. St. Leo is a thriving community you definitely want to be a part of.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Anyone can be the victim. Everyone can be the solution. It's on us to stand up and not stand by.
Because when you're a victim of sexual assault, no one should stand alone.
It's on us.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete. On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus, and why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most, preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree, creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies, and a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
Hi, my name is Malik Fuller. I'm from Germany and I played for St. Leo University in the women's golf team. My major is economics and my minor is in accounting. When I came to the States, everything just felt bigger. It was an adjustment, but I loved every part of it. St. Leo has kind of developed as my family. I got there when I was 17 and I was kind of like a small little girl experiencing a new world. But over the 4 years, I found a lot of friends there. It was just like the perfect setup for being successful in my sport and in school. I think golf is definitely more mental. When I came to college, I was like a great ball striker. I always loved to hit the golf ball. I always loved to practice short game. But what I had to learn is to be patient on the golf course and just accept whatever happens and then play the next shot the best as you can. Being the national champion in D2 is an incredible feeling. Winning nationals was kind of the crown to my season, and then being named the player of the year for the season, it was incredible. I think the achievement I'm most proud of is the award I got at the end of my senior year, being the graduate with the highest GPA. It was an award from the university, and I was so thankful for them helping me throughout the 4 years, and then getting that award, it was just amazing. After I graduated from St. Leo, I moved back to Germany. I study in the master's program, which is called International Economics and Economic Policy. So we just had 7 weeks of school, and it's already challenging, but I like the challenge, and I'm excited what comes next and what I can learn there.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop.
High jumper. Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender. Or the color of your skin. Or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
And we are back. Halftime here in the Lions Den. Your Lions leading the Spartans of Tampa 34-29. St. Leo ending that first half on a 12-2 run to get that 5-point advantage at the break. Led by Yalen Reed, who scored the first 11 points for the Lions out the gate. He finished the first half with 15. 5 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 4 from downtown. Also chipped in 8 rebounds, so just 2 rebounds shot of a double-double for Yalen. Kyron McClure, though, struggling to get going early, just 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting, but doesn't seem to be out there in his natural position, really playing the 2 tonight. We know he's kind of more of a scorer from the 1, but with Rusty Moore starting, he's kind of moved over to the 2, trying a little something different just to see how it works, but maybe it'll be just a second-half adjustment here for Kyron, but I'm pretty sure he can get going, and he will. He usually does that quick, fast, and in a hurry, they say. And for Tampa, shout out to Derrick Felder. He's been unbelievable for the Spartans, keeping them in this game. He's got 14 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, just 2 of 4 from the charity stripe, as well as Pat Bacon comes in averaging 21 points per game, does the senior, has 8 in that first half. So they have 22 of the Spartan 29 between the two of them. So we'll see what St. Leo does coming out in the second half. My guess is head coach Lance Randall looks at that and says, let's take out Bacon, let's take out Felder, make everybody else beat you, and see who steps up for the Spartans, who, as I mentioned in the pregame show, dealing with a lot of injuries. They lost their highly touted freshman early on. They're without Makai Biffle, their star senior, who injured his shooting hand. Could potentially be out for the year. Don't know for sure, but is certainly out. I believe they did medical redshirt him, so he'll be back next year. But we'll see what the Spartans do in the second half to combat that. So 34-29 the score here at the half. We'll step away and be back with the second half right after this.
In 1889, St. Leo is the 4th largest Catholic university in the United States and currently serves more than 14,000 students. They study at its university campus in Greater Tampa Bay, through its online programs, and at more than 40 teaching locations in 7 states, boasting small class sizes, academic excellence, and state-of-the-art technology. St. Leo is a thriving community you definitely want to be a part of.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Anyone can be the victim. Everyone can be the solution. It's on us to stand up and not stand by.
Because when you're a victim of sexual assault, no one should stand alone.
It's on us.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete. On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most, preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education, and working to earn a degree. Creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
And we are back, except for the start of the second half. Lions lead by 5, seeing if they can build on that 12-2 run they ended the first half on. See Yalen Reed giving a little fist bump there to the fans sitting courtside. Yalen had a heck of a first half, 15 points on 5 of 6 from the floor, 8 rebounds. Still have yet to see his trademark alley-oop slam, but Rusty Moore comes up firing, no good. Rebound to Foreman, no good. Put back tip, no good, and rebound off to the Spartans. Felder really led the way for the Spartans in that first half, 14 points on 6 of 10. There's a steal by Kyron. A good find there by Moore, the Foreman who traveled. Pat Bacon, leading scorer for the Spartans, averaging 21 points per game, had 8 in that first half on 2 of 6. Brent Duncan back out there as well for the Spartans. He sat for most of that first half with foul trouble. Had 2. Good cut there and a layup up and in for Harris. His first basket of the game. As Kyron gets it there down on the block. Just 10 to go on the shot clock now for Rusty. Gets it down low to Foreman, who puts it up. Shot no good. Rebound to the Spartans. And Brent Duncan gets free and puts it up and in. So it's a 1-point game. Tampa scoring the first 4 points here as Kyron looks to get it going, and there it is. Kyron McClure, 3-point ball there. He's now got 6. Maybe that's the spark that'll get him going here in the second half. After just 3 in that first half. Good move there by Bacon. Finding an open man in the corner for 3, no good. And back comes Moore. Rusty Moore to the pull-up jumper, no good. Not the best shot there if you're a Lion fan. It's Duncan there, has it knocked away, sticks with it, puts it up and in. Good job there by Brent Duncan staying with it. Bartaskas fires from downtown. No good. Rebound to Ty Foreman. Put back up and in. Good work there by Ty Foreman. Spartans looking for their first conference win. St. Leo looking for their second. There's a good move there by Lakovic. Bartaskas wide open for 3. No good. Rebound to Foreman. He goes back up. No good. Just a bit strong. Sticks with it. Kicks it to Kyron, who tries the 3. No good. And rebound to Felder. And it's knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Lions as Tyler Carter will check back in. He'll replace Ty Foreman. And Jared Coomer also checked back in. He'll replace Bartascus. And Pat Bacon with a little step back, no good. And it's a foul there against Duncan. That's his third. So he's going to have to be careful now. One more, and he'll be sitting for a while. Kyra now has it up top and hands it off to Moore. Kyra now with the three, puts it up and in. Kyron McClure starting to heat up. He now has 9. And it's an offensive foul going against Lakovich. So that'll bring us to immediate timeout. Lions up by 5.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
And we are back. Lions lead by 5, 42-37 the score. Have possession following a charge. Brent Duncan playing with 3 fouls, so he'll have to be careful for the Spartans. Rusty Moore, Jared Coomer, Yalen Reed, Tyler Carter, and Kyron McClure, the 5 out there for the Lions. So you see Kyron a little frustrated, trying to get open off these screens. Tyler Carter fires from downtown and puts it up and in. Big 3 there for Tyler Carter. It's his first points of the game, and the Lions' lead is 8. So perhaps getting a little separation here. And just losing track of the ball. Jump ball there by Duncan. Possession arrow did favor the Spartans. See Duncan out there playing pretty aggressive. Seen him in a couple jump ball situations, fight for it, dive on the floor. Maybe a little shove here or there. Definitely not afraid to bang down low. He has it here, goes to the left hand, no good, and a foul called. So you can tell he just seems to play angry. Every team kind of needs one of those guys. Goes out there, is aggressive, plays mean. And Duncan no good on the first. Duncan a 70% free throw shooter on the year. Steps away now, step back up. And Duncan is pure on the second. And a 30-second taken by head coach Richard Schmidt, who is in his 39th season as head coach of the Spartans. And now it is switched to a media timeout, so we'll step away. Lions up by 7.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
And we are back. Lions lead by 7, 45-38. 14:51 remaining in the second half. Yalen Reed leading the way for the Lions so far. Double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Kyron comes up firing from downtown. No good, but a foul called. So Kyron finally will get his first chance at the line tonight. Kyron Pure on the first. Kyron comes into this game shooting 94% from the free throw line. 66 of 70. Pure on that one. So make it 68 of 72 for the Kyron counter. And 69 of 73. Just keeps it going. And now the Lions enjoying their first double-digit lead. 48-38 the score. There's a drive and a layup up and in. Good work there. And an offensive foul called. Good ball movement there by the Spartans, but good defense by the Lions. So now Bacon with a kick out, 3 on the way, no good. Rebound to Rusty Moore. Knocked off the foot there. And good timeout taken there by Jared Coomer to retain the possession. Just a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here as the Lions lead by 8. Well, it's kind of been a rough game here, kind of an ugly game, really sloppy. Kyron not played much point tonight, but has managed 12 points on 3 of 6. Kind of a quiet 12. Just had 3 in the first half. He's got 9 here in the second half. Really, if you think about it, all 4 coming off of threes. He's 3 of 6 from downtown, but then got fouled on 1 3 where he just made all 3 free throws. So he is at 12 points. We're going to the Kyron counter. Kyron now with it up top. 12 to go on the shot clock. Kick it back to him. His chance to do something here is it kicks out to Moore. Just 2 to go on the shot clock, so Carter fires from downtown. No good. Rebound to Brent Duncan. Bacon tries to get around a foul called there on Yalen Reed. That is his 3rd, so he'll have to be careful now, and Eric Lom will check in for him, so probably won't see Yalen Reed until about the 6 or 7 minute mark would be my guess. Five to go on the shot clock here. Pat Bacon just fires from downtown. No good, but the rebound comes Tampa. Loose ball everywhere. Finally comes up in the hands. Kyron was begging for it, so he had numbers. Kyron steps into a 3 and buries it, but a foul called to Eric Lom down low, so that negates the Kyron 3. Ty Foreman will check in for Lom at the next dead ball. Now he's heading back to the bench, so kind of missed his chance there. Bacon kicks out. Linkovich thought about the 3, now drops back to Bacon, whose shot is blocked by Lom. Moore and Kyron come back the other way. Kyron back to Moore. Now the Lions will set up. Kyron open for 3. Moore elects to take it. Has his shot blocked. Now Pat Bacon comes. Good hezzy there. Now ball ends back up in the hands of Kyron. He kicks out to Moore, who drops to Lom, who lays it up and in. So lead back up to double digits for the Lions as there's a 3 on the way. No good. Rebound to Lom. Moore has it now. 10 to go on the shot clock as Kyron wide open off the screen. Puts it up. No good. And rebound to Duncan. Pat Bacon fouled. Puts it up and in. What a play there for an and 1 by Pat Bacon. And that brings us to immediate timeout. So Pat Bacon will look to complete the and 1 when we get back.
In 1889, St. Leo is the 4th largest Catholic university in the United States and currently serves more than 14,000 students. They study at its university campus in Greater Tampa Bay, through its online programs, and at more than 40 teaching locations in 7 states, boasting small class sizes, academic excellence, and state-of-the-art technology. St. Leo is a thriving community you definitely want to be a part of.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
And we are back. Lions up by 8 over the Spartans as Pat Bacon looks to complete the and one at the line. And he does just that. As Carl Swinson, the freshman from New Jersey, checks in for his first minutes as Pat Bacon gets his first rest of the game. And Lom with it down low and a foul called. And Brent Duncan called for a technical. So he got a personal and a tech, so he fouls out. Duncan, you could just kind of tell, visibly frustrated all game. Frustrated, telling the ref he hit me in my face. So he's probably frustrated he was called for the foul as opposed to a foul being called on him, and voiced his frustration, got teed up, and now is out for the game. And Kyron Pierre on both. So he's a perfect 5 for 5 from the stripe. And now the Lions will retain possession. Not quite sure what the refs are discussing. Now they're good to go. And Coomer has it stripped there. Good job by Felder, who's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Good work there by Derrick Felder. Felder's had a good game. He's got 14. And Felder can't get the first to go. Moore checks in for Wade Coomer. Lom calling for it down low. They get it to him. Goes up with the right hand, leaves it short. And rebound off to the Spartans. Pat Bacon, nifty dribble and kick out for a 3, no good. And rebound off to Kyron. And big block there. And a save, but to the Lions as Carter has it. Rusty Moore, little dribble crossover, pull up, no good. And knocked out of bounds to the Spartans. So Tampa is kind of hanging around, down by 8. It's Ty Foreman will check in for Eric Lom. Jalen Reed still remains on the bench with those 3 fouls. As I mentioned, he'll probably come back around the 7-minute mark would be my guess. Score pending. There's a dribble crossover, nifty move to the left hand by Lekovic. He's now in double figures with 11. And the Spartans down just 6. Trying to get their first conference win here on the road in the Den as Kyron falls away. Leaves it well short. So they're going to call a foul on Felder going against Ty Foreman down low. And so Jalen Reed will come in now. I mentioned score pending. He might come in a little sooner than that 7-minute mark, and he comes in with 8:46 remaining with those playing with those 3 fouls. So they'll have to be a little careful. We got a foul called against the Spartans. A holding foul called. Actually goes against Felder, so that's his 3rd, and now it's the 1-and-1. So Ty Foreman will step to the charity stripe. And this is actually Ty Foreman's first free throw attempts on the year. So Ty Foreman stepping to the line for the first time on the season. And no good on the first. There's a 3 on the way, no good. Harris now just 1 for 9 and 0 for 8 from downtown. And Malik Fuller gets it down. Yes, his shot denied. Kicks back to Kyron. Good play there and hustle by Felder to get that steal. Get it ahead to Bacon, who lays it up and in. And it's a 4-point game. That play was made possible by Felder. Got the knockaway. Made the hustle play to keep it inbounds. And Pat Bacon finished it off. Now the Spartans trail by just 4. As Fuller goes to the right hand, as his shot blocked. Now wide open 3, no good. Boy, that would have been a big one to cut it to 1. As St. Leo 0 for their last 7, just 1 for their last 10. And Lance Randall takes a good timeout here, so we'll take it with them. Lions lead now, just 4.
From court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
And we are back. Lions lead by 4. Lance Randall forced to take a timeout after a little run by the Spartans. St. Leo scoreless over their last 3-10, just 1 for their last 10 from the floor, shooting just 35% on the evening. Jalen Reed scored the first 11 of the game for the Lions, has just 4 since then. He's kind of been dealing with foul trouble. Rusty Moore struggling, 5 points, 2 of 10 from the floor. Kyron's trying to get it going. He's 3 for 8, got 14 points. Been an ugly game for the Lions. As Kyron now with a nifty move. There goes to the right hand, but can't get it to go. We approach the 7-minute mark. Pat Bacon there almost put more on the ground. Falls away. No good. And Kyron controls and hands off to Moore. Just 5 to go on the shot clock here. Rusty fires from way downtown. No good. Not a good possession for the Lions. And a foul there against Kyron. His second. As Tyler Carter checks in, he'll replace Ty Foreman. There's a drive by Bacon, cut off, goes to the spin move, just loses his footing as a travel. He wants the foul, but he really just lost his footing on that spin move. And Kyron hangs. Wild shot there, no good. There's a putback up and in for Felder. Now has 17. And the Lion lead just 2. St. Leo now scoreless over their last 5 minutes. Spartans on a 7-0 run. Probably one of the worst shooting games I've seen from the Lions all year. Just 3 to go now. As Moore goes to the floater. And that is a shot clock violation. And now UT can tie or take the lead. As Jared Coomer checks back in. Tampa looking for their first win in the conference. 3rd on the season. There's a drive by Felder. No good. As Kyron looks to come back the other way. Kyron now running some point. More of his natural position. Jalen Reed backs down, goes to the left hand, puts it up and in, and Jalen Reed now with 17, and you wonder why they hadn't gone to that sooner either. It's really been there for him all game. No resistance really down low, and especially with Duncan out now as a blocking foul called there on Carter. That'll send Lakovich to the line. And Lakovich well short on that one, almost an air ball. And now the Lions put the ball in the hands of arguably their best player, Kyron McClure, to run the point here. So they get back to Reed, and that's an offensive foul called. And that's on Yalen Reed. That's his 4, so one more, and Yalen Reed is gone. So that is a big one for the leading scorer for the Lions at 17. That brings us to a media timeout. Anybody's game. Lions up by 4.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
We are back. Lions lead by 4. Spartans with the ball. Following the foul there by Yalen Reed, his 4th. Yalen was 17 and 12. He's only missed one shot all night, 6 of 7. But he is going to have to be careful playing with those 4 fouls. Way too important. It's really been the only source of offense outside of Kyron McClure in the second half. Eight to go on the shot clock here. Pat Bacon with some nifty dribbling. Comes up firing, no good. Rebound to Reed. Been a bit of a struggle tonight for the former Sunshine State Conference Freshman of the Year. 13 points, but just 4 of 14 from the floor is Pat Bacon. Kyron comes off the screen. He has it now with 8 to go on the shot clock. This is Kyron McClure time. Comes up firing from downtown. No good. Neither team trying to take off and take this game over. There's a 3 on the way, in and out, no good, and an over-the-back foul going to be called there against Lekovich. Or no, they're going to call Tyler Carter for the foul. Oh, wow, that's a 3rd team foul. Called him probably for that hook on Lakovich. So now Lakovich can cut this lead to 2. St. Leo just 1 for their last 13 from the floor. Lakovich pure on the first. Lakovich a 58% free throw shooter on the season. No good on the second. So the lead is 3 for the Lions. 1 possession with 2:25 remaining. As Kyron will control the show, it looks like here the rest of the way. So he wants that screen from Yalen. And a blocking foul called. That'll send Kyron to the line, and that is the best source of offense you could possibly have in a game like this, is Kyron going to the charity stripe. As I mentioned, came into this contest 66 of 70 on the season. 5 for 5 tonight from the line. So he's now 71 of 75 from the line on the season. So wet spot there. They're going to wipe that up. Kyron will use that time to talk to Coach Lance Randall. Get some coaching here for this final 210. .71 of 75 on the year. That's where the Kyron counter currently stands. And make it 72 of 76. It's 94% coming in. That's only going to rise. I guess 73 of 77. There's a dive there by Jared Coomer for that loose ball. Couldn't quite get to it. Under 2 minutes remaining. Lions lead by 5. Step back 3. No good. Kyron said, let me get the pill. And let me try to close this one out for us. The minute 40 remaining. You want that ball in 13's hands. Just 5 to go on the shot clock here for Moore. He comes up firing, no good. It's just been a rough game for Rusty Moore. 5 points, just 2 of 13 from the floor. It's a good player, but just not his night. And foul on Malik Fuller sends Harris to the line. Jacob Harris has not attempted a free throw on the season. And he's got big ones here and is pure on the first. That one's key because it makes it 4-point game, and now it can make it a 1-possession game. And he does just that. So his first 2 free throws on the season are pure. And we got a full timeout taken by the Spartans. So we'll step away. Lions nursing a 3-point lead.
From court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
And we are back. Lions lead by 3, 56-53 the score. Minute 21 remaining. Lions in dire need of a basket here. They're just 1 for their last 14. No field goals made over their last 3 minutes. Despite all that, still have the lead. This has to be Kyron McClure time. Got to put the ball in 13's hands and let him bring you home. And that looks like that's going to be the game plan here for head coach Lance Randall. It's 10 to go now on the shot clock. Kyron gives it up to Coomer. Coomer goes up with it, no good. And now Tampa can cut this lead to 1 or tie things up. There's a 3 on the way for Harris, and that one finally goes. He was 0 for 8 from downtown before that one. And now have a tie game, 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. All tied up at 56, so here's the situation. 6-second difference between shot and game clock for the Lions. And we'll see what head coach Lance Randall draws up here. But if I'm Lance Randall, I'm saying we need to get the ball in 13's hands and let him make a play. We saw him, he was kind of passive on the last one. Gave the ball up with just 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Led to a Jared Coomer miss. And that's no fault on Coomer. The ball got there kind of late in his hands. He had to make a play to beat the shot clock. This is the home stretch here. 36.6 seconds remaining. Spartans looking for their first win in conference play. 4th win on the year. Lions looking for their 2nd conference win as they try to creep their way back up the conference standings. Lance Randall said, "I don't want the screen yet, Yalen." Ten to go on the shot clock here. This is Kyron time. It's Kyron McClure to the fall away, and he puts it, in and out of bounds, being called on Felder on the rebound. So the Lions will retain possession with 6.9 seconds remaining. Tough break there for the Spartans. We will keep it here. So now, time for head coach Lance Randall to draw up a play here. 7 seconds remain. We had overtime in our first contest, a game that the Spartans ended up winning. Could we be on our way to our second overtime, or could the Lions get a game winner here and walk off the court with their second win? Lions 6-4 on the year, 1-2 in Sunshine State Conference play. Started out hot to the season, 6-1. Since then, have won just one of their last 4. Lost 96-92 to number 7 Valdosta State. Then they lost by 10 to 22nd ranked Florida Southern, and then lost by 15 to number 2 ranked Nova Southeastern. So St. Leo, 4 losses on the year, but have played top 25 teams in those 4 losses. Haven't lost to a team outside of the top 25 on the year. Have not played well tonight. Probably their worst game on the season by far, but have a chance to win it here with 7 seconds remaining. Kyron McClure, the inbounder, gets it into Rusty, and they get it back in the hands of 13. This is Kyron McClure time. He loses the dribble, and we are going to overtime. Great defense there by Felder. Forced the turnover on Kyron McClure, and we have our second overtime game of the evening. So we will play another 5 minutes. We'll send it to commercial, but we will be right back with overtime after this.
When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most, preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree. Creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. we're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
And we are back, getting set for our second overtime game tonight. Lions fans hoping for a better outcome on this one. We saw the ladies drop a heartbreaker. Of note, another 5 minutes plays in the strength of Tampa as Yalen Reed, who has 17 points and 14 rebounds tonight, playing with 4 fouls. So he's going to have to be very cautious over these 5 minutes of overtime. Able to control the tip for the Lions. Rusty Moore has it up top. They go to Yalen Reed down low. Goes to the spin move, puts it off the window, up and in, and that is there for him all night long. He now has 19. He's 7 for 8 from the floor. And that's a travel. I don't think the ref saw it. He went up and down. Doesn't hurt the Lions, though, as they end up with the possession. Bartaskis comes off the screen. They looking for Yalen again. This time Yalen fires from downtown. Can't get the tip, and Tyler Carter just way too much on that tip out. Tipped it all the way to the third row. (58-56) the score. In the extra session of plays, there's a drive. Layup up and in, and a block foul called. So it is an and one opportunity for Felder, who now has 19. That is 4 now on Tyler Carter. So that will send Felder to the line. Looking for his 20th point. And it is pure. So Spartans with the lead. Rusty Moore back to controlling the point here for the Lions. As Kyron gets it off the screen. And Bartaskis wide open for 3. No good there, and the Lions' woes continue. Just 8 of 27 from downtown. Just 30%. By far their worst shooting night on the season, shooting just 31%. There's a 3 on the way, up and in for Felder, as the Spartans take a 4-point lead with 2:47 remaining in overtime, looking for their first win on the season in the conference. Kyron just loses the dribble out of bounds, and it's just all coming apart for St. Leo here in the extra session. .2:15 remaining for Pat Bacon and the Spartans, who Pat Bacon with a nifty move there. Couldn't quite get it to go. As Rusty Moore drives, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Spartans. St. Leo is really struggled in the second half, led by 10, and just really kind of choked the game away. Unable to get a basket to go. Felder comes up firing short on that one. Kyron really needs to take over. He fires from downtown and puts it up and in. Big three there for Kyron McClure, and my goodness, did the Lions need that. Lead now just one, as Kyron has 19. So there's a drive, shot no good, rebound to Fuller. And I go right back to 13 if I'm the Lions. And they do just that as Kyron puts up another one, up and in! Kyron McClure, back-to-back threes to give the Lions a 2-point lead with 1 minute remaining. How will Felder answer? How will the Spartans answer? As there's a foul there on a drive. That one goes against Kyron, so that's his third. Tampa in the double bonus, so Felder will shoot 2. Felder came into this one just a 55% free throw shooter. He's 4 for 7 tonight, so right at about his average. He's got 23. Make it 24. And Pierre owned a second, so we are tied up again at 64. And I go right back to 13. A timeout taken by head coach Lance Randall. So he decides to use his timeout now. Not quite sure why he'd use it here. I'm more along the lines, let them play it out. Because say St. Leo misses here, Tampa goes down and scores, you're going to, well, it's not, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. You don't advance it in the men's game like you do in the women's game. But still, you like to maybe talk things over in that second situation because say you're bringing it up, 26 seconds left or whatever the situation could be. That's when you kind of like to talk things over, but Coach Randall wants to draw up his play now, and who am I to knock him? He has coached this team so well this year, off to this 6-4 start, and in a game the Lions honestly have no reason to be in as poorly as they've played. They're tied up and have a chance to take the lead with 46.6 remaining. And they get it back in the hands of number 13, Kyron McClure. 15 to go on the shot clock. Here comes Kyron off the screen. Now 10 to work for Kyron. And a foul called, so that'll send Kyron to the line. Kyron will shoot 2. Kyron got 22 points on the night. So Kyron McClure steps to the line. It is the 1-1 for Kyron. 73 of 77 on the year. Make it 74 of 78. And 75 of 79 on the season for Kyron. And a 2-point Lion lead. If you're UT, you can hold for the last shot. You can do a 2 for the tie, a 3 for the win. They do have one timeout, and they will use it here. We will keep it here with 18.8 seconds remaining. And if you're UT, you got to be thinking here, we have nothing to lose. We're 3-7 on, or 2-7 on the year, 0 for 3 in the Sunshine State Conference. You're on the road. I wouldn't want to play a second overtime. Kyron's starting to heat up. I would go for the 3 and the win. If you're at home, I would suggest maybe going for the quick 2 and the tie. But I don't want to put the ball back in St. Leo's hands. You got a player like Felder who's 9 of 16 from the floor, 25 points. He's got 10 rebounds as well, double-double for Felder, but made a big 3 already in overtime. I would maybe look for Felder, your senior leader, Pat Bacon, also an option, just 13 points, but a prolific scorer. Let's see what they do here. Felder has it. Felder drives, goes for layup, blocked by Yalen Reed. What a big block by Yalen. Huge play. And a foul called will send Rusty Moore to the line. We got a replay here of this block. You'll see on the drive by Felder. He's done well attacking the basket all night, and Yalen Reed ready for it. Blocks it with the left hand. Rusty Moore shooting 2 is pure on the first. And this is the big one here. This can make it a 2-possession game with 7.8 remaining. And Rusty is pure. Big one there for the Lions. Key is don't foul. Let them shoot as Bacon fires. No good. And a foul there. And this is big because now if you're Tampa, you make the first, intentionally miss the second, see if you can get a tip out, and a 3 for the tie. Extremely rare. I have seen it happen before. But you got to make the first one. And he is pure on the first. Definitely, it's 2. There's not enough time to make the second and then play the foul game unless you try to steal the inbound. But I think the play here, intentionally miss the second. You have time for a quick tip out and a 3 opportunity. They do just that, but rebound to Yalen Reed. And that will seal things here. Assuming Yalen can just make 1 free throw. Even on a miss, your 2 misses, you're looking at a full court heave for a tie. Now they put 0.2 of a second back on, so 1.1 remaining here for the Lions. Yalen Reed, 19 points, 16 rebounds, and what could be the game-winning block. No good on the first. Fuller back in for a defensive sub there. Yalen can ice it here. He is pure, and that will give the Lions a much-needed win here in the Lions' Den, 69-65 against the University of Tampa Spartans. Didn't come easily, but they got it nonetheless in a game that was probably one of the worst games they had played all year. But you know what? Credit this team's heart because they gave up that big lead late, but they fought, they hung in there, and were able to steal a 69-65 win in overtime as St. Leo now moves to 7-4 and an even 2-2 in the Sunshine State Conference. So they will jump up to about the 4th spot in the conference with that win. UT falls to 2-8 0-4 in Sunshine State Conference play as they will try to look for their first Sunshine State Conference win in their next timeout. St. Leo will be back here this coming Friday against Walsh. That is a 4:30 p.m. tip here in the Lions Den. So for me, I'm Eric Anderson. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Once again, final score, St. Leo 69, Tampa 65 in overtime.